Congresswoman Omar is an America-hating socialist. She minimized the September 11th attack on our homeland, where far more than 3,000 people died. Joe's son, Hunter, got thrown out of the Navy, and then he became a genius on Wall Street in about 2 days. By the way, whatever happened to Hunter? Where the hell is he? Where's Hunter? Hey, fellas, I have an idea for a new T-shirt. I love the cops, but let's do another T-shirt. Where's Hunter? Where is he?
All right, so let's talk about what we can expect next week, and then perhaps even after that. Joining the debate tonight on what to look forward to, or perhaps not, is Independent Women's Forum and former GOP Congresswoman Nan Hayworth and Democratic strategist Spencer Critchley. We thank you both for joining us. Appreciate your time. Congresswoman, I want to start with you. The former ambassador to Ukraine testified behind closed doors today, and we learned the ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, will be defying the State Department orders, and he'll testify next week. What do you make of this move? Should the White House be complying? Should the State Department be complying with the inquiry?
Well, I think it's of great concern that all of this is being done behind closed doors without the kind of bipartisan protocol that was observed in the two previous impeachment processes in the modern era, namely Nixon and, of course, President Clinton. So we don't know exactly what's going on. We don't have access to the transcripts of these interviews, certainly not of the ambassador today, and presumably not of Ambassador Sondland next week. So we're relying on the interpretations of the members of Congress, both Republican and Democrat, to step out of the committee hearing. And certainly today's testimony from Ambassador Yovanovitch was interpreted differently by Democratic and Republican members. So this remains a partisan exercise that could be much improved upon if the House Democrats would take it upon themselves to take a real vote on impeachment and to establish a bipartisan protocol.
Spencer, what about you? Do you agree with the Congresswoman here that this really should be done all out in the open instead of behind closed doors, just in the interest of transparency?
No, this is being done completely legitimately, and unfortunately all of these objections to the process are distractions from the core issue, which is that the president has confessed to impeachable offenses. There's no way out of that. It's in that call transcript that the White House released. He's confessed repeatedly on live television. He's a very strange kind of offender. He does the confession first. That's where we are. All of this process stuff is just one of many distractions that Republicans have been putting forward. And unfortunately, in terms of bipartisanship, Republicans have been stonewalling to the point of attacking the rule of law. I would say the Democratic members of Congress are obeying their oath of office. And unfortunately, the president is violating his oath of office. That's what this comes down to.
Congresswoman, do you think that the president... Go ahead, please.
No. Well, I disagree strongly with what Spencer just said. The president has, quote unquote, confessed to nothing. We have the transcript of his conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine, who said he felt no political pressure from the president. There was no quid pro quo, which is what the Democrats keep talking about. This is a thoroughly partisan exercise. And unfortunately, it's being pursued in a mono-partisan way because the Democrats hope to compromise the president politically. This is not what an impeachment was designed to do. Yes, it is a political process, but it is also one that has established procedures for assuring that the president and the executive branch have appropriate respect for their confidentiality, for classified information, for their right to question witnesses, and to preserve the records of the executive branch, which has, I would remind everyone, quite a potent position in terms of conducting foreign affairs, which is what the president was doing with President Zelensky.
All right, Spencer, let's bring this back to you here. Speaker Pelosi, aside from calling the president a potty mouth today, says that some lawmakers have suggested using the House Sergeant at Arms to round up witnesses who are defying subpoenas. Should she resort to that if it's the only way to get people to appear?
I think we have to be very slow to do anything like that, but unfortunately that's what the president is almost provoking people to do. Let me also just point out quid pro quo is yet another of many red herrings, and it's absolutely wrong. Any American can see that. That's why the president's poll numbers are plummeting so fast, and obviously impeachable to ask a foreign government to investigate a political rival. That's exactly what is in that transcript, and it's the transcript released by the White House. It's their summary of the transcript, and the president has asked both Ukraine and China to do it on television. There's no way for Republicans to wiggle out of this. It's obviously wrong. It's obviously impeachable. That's where we are with that situation.
No. Respectfully disagreed.
Well, we can say no, but the American people are going to disagree,
Spencer.
and many Republicans disagree as well. I also reject the framing that this is partisan. This is why so many leading Republicans like George Will, Bill Kristol, Max Boot, Tom Nichols, the list goes on.
Then why
and on.
doesn't the House?
Former
Okay,
Republican
but Spencer,
members
then
why
doesn't
Republican
Speaker
members of the
Pelosi?
Justice
Okay,
Department.
then Speaker Pelosi can take a vote. Why doesn't she take an impeachment vote? It would be simple.
It's another process
to do.
argument. Sure, she could. I think it'd be fine.
It's
but
not a process
it's not
argument.
at all
It is
necessary.
a fundamental argument about principle.
It's not necessary. It's absolutely
And I
up to the
would point
Congress.
out-
People are free to read all of this for themselves.
I would point out that Ukraine had been intending to investigate further into the operations of Burisma, which was paying
Under
Hunter
tremendous
Biden
pressure,
with
under
zero,
tremendous
with
pressure
zero
from the
qualifications.
Trump administration.
Oh, okay.
It was earlier this year, zero qualifications, $50,000 a month. It is worth investigating.
All right,
And not just Hunter Biden, but in
a
fact,
made
Joe
up-
Biden's
We have to
brother.
leave it
A
right
made
there,
up
both of
story,
you. We've
a
got to
made
go
up
to the
story,
break
yet
right
another
now.
distraction.
Spencer Critchley, Nan Hayworth, Congresswoman, thank you both so much for your time. Next week will surely be another interesting week on Capitol Hill.